dolphin fishing right now, you got to know where the temperature break's at. The guys have been crushing them actually out in the deep water because that's where the temps break's been. So when I posted some stuff on my stories, and that's where they were at. And also too, you'll get warm water filaments that'll break off out there, and then you'll find that stuff. So you just start looking the closer you get to the temperature break. But having that temperature break location is crucial, and knowing where it comes, like knowing how it moves every day and studying that's how you get better. And I'm not gonna honestly, I've been using this stuff for a couple years now, and I study it every day. It's part of my daily habit, to wake up, have some coffee, look and see where the Gulf Stream's at, look and see where the temperature break is at, and then and then also too, last week I used the this is something that I wanted to share with you guys. So last week, the forecast was very windy, and we had a good 12 to 15 mile an hour seas. Forecast was supposed to be 5 foot seas, but 4 foot seas. And I have to tell you, it was the complete opposite because we didn't have any current. Okay, so it was all light wind driven stuff, and you have to know what's going on out there. And what I did was to make some decisions as far as my charters go. I pulled up Satfish, and I wanted to see what the current was doing, and there was minimal current. The Gulf Stream was way out there, not much happening, and that held true for 4 days. So up until the big blow started, and it was really nice out there, and the fish bit really well. So it was really nice. The current kind of died out a little bit on Monday, and once that happened, it was just a nice wind-driven current, and it was great for bottom fishing. Great. So great for anchor fishing. It just got the water moving in the right direction, and it was all wind-driven. So, and then the further out you got to and when you went out to as you kept going, and the guys that found the temperature break out there and found the current, it went from no current to a hard current, and they did really well on the dolphin. So, and that was how it went, So you just really got to do your homework, and that's some of the benefits that you can reap from putting in the time and studying that stuff. And everybody says they have kids and time and this. You can always make a little bit of time for yourself. And that comes from setting your boundaries at home and getting up a little bit earlier and using you can make up all the excuses that you want. Quit scrolling. Quit looking at seeing what other people are doing, and start spending some time on yourself. And my time is to look at that stuff and have a little bit of coffee. It takes me 5 minutes, and then that's all I need. So, and then if I see something, I take a screenshot, and then I save it in my books, and then, I can move on. So those are the things that you can do with that. And honestly, I'm going to keep telling you guys about it because and it's not because I'm trying to sell you something. Honestly, I didn't have to bring this up, and I didn't really. I was should I tell people about this? And because it was working so well for me, then I decided that it's worth sharing. So a few years ago. So honestly, if you guys want to start stepping up your game, sign up for this Satfish. You get $20 off. Use it. Use the free trial. I use my Mac at home. I don't like to use my app for it. I like to use the Mac. I can really see a lot, and what I can do is I can manipulate the shading a little bit so I can see things a little bit better. And right now I'm seeing a lot of weed starting to push through, a lot of surface weed, and I can see some temperature breaks out there a little bit in 750 outside of the weed, and that's where I would start looking for the dolphin. So especially this time of year. Anyhow, they're being caught. You have to really know where they're at, and you have to put in some time. You have to fill the tank with gas and go get them. So I would think once that breeze starts to shift around to the southeast breeze is really good. So once this breeze starts to shift around to the southeast, weather starts to calm down a little bit. Things are gonna happen out there. There's gonna be some nice fish caught, and that should happen here the rest of the month. So you got the some tournaments starting up, Mother's Day, and all that good stuff, and yeah. So as far as what to do out there, I don't know, man. I like to troll sea witches. I've always done that. I don't like to use just artificials, and I don't run and gun. So I like to put the baits out, and that's this time of year. You can catch some really big dolphin, blind trolling with the spreads out, and yeah. So as far as what's going on the reef, good bite of yellowtails, really good. Lots of big fish being caught. If you want to go bend the rod, have a good time, do some light tackle fishing. I can't say anything like what's been spectacular is the sheer amount of mangrove snappers that are happening. It is really has been phenomenal mangrove snapper fishing all winter long. So the best I've seen, they're up and down the keys. You got them at the bridges. You got them on the patch reefs. It's just badassly good. Like, I pitched the patches last week one day, and it was like I had like super clear water and some of the hardest mangrove fishing, like mangrove snapper, and then bright sun, high pressure, and we still clobbered them. So there's lots of little tricks with that, but anyway, so the patch reef fishing was really good, and we didn't do much for muttons, so we were really focused on catching some big mangs. So, and there were no predators in there at all, 0, which was a lot of fun. So, not to see that stuff. What else we got going on? That's an option for you guys. Your bigger mangs are going to come in the evening when it's windy. So, and then the wind might lay out a little bit, and then go out and take advantage of a couple hours at sunset, and you can do pretty good. So it's I've really enjoyed fishing for them this winter. I really have. Using the light tackle has been a lot of fun. I don't get an opportunity to do that much, so was a good time. So, and then once in a while you slop into a big mutton when you're free lining a little piece of bait out for a mang. So, grouper season. Good luck, everybody. I'm not going to talk much about grouper on my podcast because I got the courses going on, and that stuff is going to be reserved for the guys for the courses this year. But all I can say is good luck out there, and I just want to let you guys know one little tip about grouper fishing is you don't need to spend $10 per Speedo. I'm hearing some crazy shit this year about guys that are overly obsessed with that bait, and I have to tell you what, it's a good bait. Don't get me wrong, it always has been, and guys like to brag about catching them and putting them in the hoop nets and shit, and and I've stopped all that stuff on my Instagram. I just think that just being focused on fishing and showing my clients what we're doing and what we're catching, and most of my clients already know what I'm doing, and every year they just have they call me and let me know, hey, what are we going to do this year, and I just tell them. So we don't always just go grouper fishing or go mutton snapper fishing, and if the conditions are right, we'll go dolphin fishing. I really don't care because I like it all. I'm not overly obsessed with any fish. I just like to go fishing, and that's it, and teach people. That's what I really like to do. So anyhow, don't become overly obsessed with the Speedo. There are a lot of other baits out there. I have to tell you what, it is what it is. And the day you think you're going to go out there and you got a boatload of Speedos is the day you're not going to catch shit on them because they want something else. And there are a lot of other stuff that both mutton snappers and groupers want to eat aside from a Speedo. So, and there are certain areas where the guys will use the Speedos, and if you're in an area that the guys are using the Speedos on, and they'll shut the bite off on guys that don't have it. So just know that the fish become tuned to certain meat, and then when that guy runs out of that Speedo and he has other good bait, then they tend not to bite on it. So I really am just laughing about it. I just laugh. The first 2 weeks of the fishing season is comical. So when it comes to the obsession that people have with that bait. So don't be that guy. And if you really want to learn about some other stuff, then you can get signed up for my courses. I have another course that I'm launching this week. It starts on the 30th. It's wreck and live bottom. If you think you know it all, well, that's good on you. And I really appreciate the guys that are wanting just to get better and that want the knowledge. And it's so fun to be able to teach people what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, because that's the way it works. So there is no right and there is no wrong. And if you're looking for next level nuggets and little tricks, and that's the type of stuff that you will pick up in some of the courses. So there's lots of stuff that that happens with fishermen, and there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there right now on YouTube and stuff. And listen, I just want people to learn. I want to show people what I'm doing, and yeah, that's just me. So, however you guys do it, it's up to you. So everybody's got to develop their own style. But the worst thing you can do is like get obsessed with certain things and like try to copy somebody and try to be too competitive. It's only going to hurt you. So, and you're not going to catch shit. And I see that happening out there where people are just losing the fun. And I am like, I don't want to wake up and feel like that every day. So I choose not to. What else we have happening? Like I said, the dolphin fishing is what it is. It's you have to put the time in. It's not going to be like it used to be. It's not your granddad's fishery anymore. So the fish are going to move in and out. It's not going to be easy, and I pray that every day is easy out there with the way that with the way the fishing used to be, with lots of fish everywhere. But the guys that are putting in the work are catching them, and of course there's going to be everybody that slops into them and gets lucky. So I call those pink sock days. So it's all about consistency for folks. Who's catching them, and where they're at, and there's a reason why. So I'm just going to leave it at that. They know where they're at. They're not getting lucky. They know where to look every day. So they know whether be depth wise, and it's no secret. It's all on the satellite charts. So wahoo fishing. I think we might have an extended wahoo fishing season down there. I really do. Just depends on the weed situation. Where it gets to be too weedy, it's not worth it. But I've seen El Nino years where the last El Nino year we had some really good wahoo fishing through the month of June into summer. So it's hard to say. Like I said, it could be depending on what the water temperatures do, and the water temperatures are stabilized. I have not, like, when they start getting way up there, and you start getting a bunch of weed and bad water, from the heat and bay, then things start to change a little bit. But I would keep grinding on the whoos. I would keep, if I were you guys. I would keep. If you guys are looking, I was looking back through my books, and I had some really good months of Mays down here. So they catch them all the time up north. I mean, north of us and down in Key West, they do really well. So I wouldn't put it past through the month of May and June. So me personally, I just like to do stuff different. I just comes a time I just put it away and go do other stuff. So I need a break, and that's that. And I don't. And clients, if they want to go if somebody wants to go catch a wahoo or try to catch a wahoo, then I just tell them the facts, and may or may not. So if there's lots of tunas around, there might be a wahoo around. I don't know. You just got to go fishing. That's it. So, I'm going to leave it at that today. Linda and I got a lot going on. I'm working on launching the new course tomorrow, and we're getting ready to head down to Mangrovemiks. Mangrovemiks is an awesome breakfast spot, and if you guys don't know the history about it, it's a local place, and it's just an awesome. And Mike did a lot for the community when he was before he passed during COVID. It really left a mark in the community, and it's his family members have taken over, and we're going to head down there and have some breakfast this morning. It's been a while, so stop by Mangrovemiks for some breakfast. The place is it's a Keys, it's the Keys, and there's a couple places I just recommend that you support local businesses, and Mike's is one of them. So I have something really cool I wanted to talk to you guys really quick about that I've heard about before I leave. And this is for the guys that get seasick. Okay, I'll put a link in my show notes for you guys, and it's an affiliate link, but I've been hearing about these glasses that are like, they're seasick glasses. Okay, they're high on anti-motion seasick smart glasses. They're ultralight nausea relief, and I've been hearing that our dive boat has been giving them to their clients, and I hear they're working. So I don't know. I'm going to order a pair. I'll put a link up for you guys, and I appreciate you guys buying through my links and supporting the podcast. But I'm going to buy a couple and just have a couple on the boat, because one thing with seasickness is that I completely get seasickness. So having the anti-roll Seakeeper, I see the different types of seasickness. I see that there's a side-to-side roll seasickness, and then I see that you'll get the hangover seasickness. That's not cured by anything. If you drink, you're screwed. So no matter what, nothing's going to save you. So unless you're a professional. So, and I've seen guys that are true fishing professionals. I call those guys get after it pretty good. So, oh my God. Anyhow, so for you guys that are like, a lot of people get sick while they bottom fish, okay? And they get sick, when they're drift fishing or something. So one thing that I guess these things, it's like you have to take that precaution, and that number one, you don't eat greasy ass shit in the morning. You don't drink a bunch of bad coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and careful on your intake in the morning on your food. So the trick too is that you get the prescription metrocycline. The Bonine is good, but if you want to really step it up, you get the prescription metrocycline, and that's a little bit higher dose. And then you've got the patches, the ginger shit. I don't believe in. Like I said, I worked in the pharmaceutical industry for several years. I've worked in nutraceuticals, and a lot of that stuff is placebo stuff. So I don't personally believe in any sort of ginger or anything curing any of that shit. So because I've seen people not be cured by it. So, but I do believe in these motion glasses, because I see a lot of visual stuff that happens with people when they look at the ocean and they see it. And then, so I'm going to order a pair just to see and have, and then see if they work on, and mostly it's like little kids. So, and these glasses look fun. The kids are the hardest ones, because the kids tend to not want to take the pills, or the parents don't want to give them anything. So they're the ones that tend to get sick, especially in the heat. So if you're bringing some kids, I suggest that you make sure that they have the proper hats. And the kids don't want to wear hats. I don't care. They need to have a hat to keep themselves, and they need to have sunglasses. Okay? Kids don't want to wear sunglasses, and adults don't want to wear sunglasses. I just don't get it, but you're only punishing yourself, and you're making yourself tired, and you cannot think out there. Sometimes you got to do shit that you don't want to do, and then you miss a bite. So figure out the hats, and then it's so funny is that I know that I'm kind of in for it when the dad shows up and all the gear and all the stuff, and then he brings his kids and they don't have anything. There's like, this is really, they don't have like any protective gear on them, like no sunglasses, no hats, short sleeve shirts, and the dad shows up with $1,000 outfit, and the kids are dragging along with stuff that's going to get them, they're not ready for fishing. So make sure you take care of your kids. It's charter boat captains do see that, just let you guys know. So, and the good captains really want the kids to have a good time, and I do too, and I want them to be comfortable. And when I see that happening, it's like I get really weird about it. So please, have your kids prepared, and this will help you on other charters as well, because a lot of captains won't say anything to you, and then the fishing will get affected by it. So just make sure all your kids are prepared, especially for the heat, because it does get hot down here, especially when you're out on the boat. And you take all the precautions you can, because it's going to make your day more enjoyable. And also, too, when you're, it's funny is that when we're going fishing, I can always tell like a happy relationship and relationships that are weird. I'll be driving out and one side of the boat will be getting spray, and I've seen guys that will put their wives on the wet side, and they don't offer to like let their wife move to the dry side or move. So I stepped in a few years ago when I started seeing this, and I make the guy get up and move and let his wife and make sure she stays dry. Okay? It's very important that you can, like, take your other people's, like, just know that, because captains see that stuff. And they want the wives to be happy, and they want the girlfriends to be happy. So when they see a girlfriend getting sprayed and doused and the guy isn't offering to move, then the captains see that stuff, including myself. So just know that, especially when you book charters, captains are very aware of what's happening. So, and then they look at it and they're like, oh, well, this guy doesn't really care about his spouse or doesn't care about his kids. So just be mindful about that stuff when you're on other people's, especially when you go on other people's boats. My boat, it's the kids come first, and then the wife. I want to make sure they're comfortable, and then that's very important. Families are like important, and I want people to have a good time. So I'm going to leave it at that today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys getting signed up for the new course. Like I said, if you guys, it's not too late. Tomorrow we start, and we're dealing with, we're heading out to the deep wrecks and patch reefs. And if you think you know it all, you might. But if you want to learn what I'm doing, I'm going to share. So you can sign up at goodkarmafishingtackle.com. And yeah, that's it. Follow me on Instagram, Good Karma Sportfishing _FL_keys. If you'd like to book a charter, you can email me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com and get on the books for the end of May and June and in the summer. What we're going to fish for, it all depends on what's biting, and that's it, and the conditions. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.